We're going to dive deep into that particular topic and see what it means to some of the Americans or across the nation, the country, who will stop taking Tylenol just because the president received information from RFK and Dr. Oz that autism is linked to Tylenol. So we're going to dive deep into that, and not just for pregnant women. A lot of people are going to hear that or heard that news and will stop this taking Tylenol in general. It won't just, be something negative that's going to impact pregnant women, but it can impact everyone else as well. So thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for being a part of the JMB family. Go ahead and hit that like, share, and we want you to subscribe. Okay. All right.
All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and jump right on in. Appreciate you guys joining us today.
Yeah. Hey, Tiffany. How are you doing? Hey, DJ Music. How are you doing as well? Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate your support. Go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. All right. I hope you guys are not rained out. Hey, Miss Balmer. Hey, Positive Energy. Hey, Mayana Mills. How are you doing this evening? Hey, Mildred Wells. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for being a part of the JMB family. Much love to you guys. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. That means a lot to us. It goes a long way. We appreciate it.
Exactly. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and jump right on in and get this thing started. What's good, everybody? What's up? It's your boy. It's that guy. Sometimes your favorite uncle, sometimes not. Roka J3. And I'm also that guy that's in your ear, and I'm going to definitely be in your ear today.
Okay, guys. All right. I am your girl, Dr. B. I am your favorite auntie. Welcome back to the GNB Live podcast. Shout out to everyone out there that's watching live, listening on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, all of the platforms, all of the social media sites. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and tell a friend. And of course, share this episode with a friend.
Exactly. Today we're going to get deep. Today in the podcast, we're going to be unpacking whether Trump is really showing cognitive decline, which we all believe he is, whether he's a pathological narcissist or does he have real mental health issues, which we believe he does.
Yeah.
And we'll dig into his recent Tylenol autism scare bomb, because literally that's what it was. And we'll bring in voices from boomers, Gen X's, millennials, and of course, Gen Z's.
So we've got something here for everyone. We know, we may be your favorite auntie and your favorite uncle, but here we're going to keep it raw. We're going to keep it real. And our content is for everyone. Okay. So also we're going to take a look at some media quotes. We're going to hear what some of the experts are saying, some of the legal angles of this, and what this all mean for everyday people. Okay. Let's take this ride.
Exactly. We're going to do that.
All right, shout out to Love Wins, George Parsons. Thank you for joining us. AJ, how are you doing this evening?
All right, guys. Let's talk about whether we see the signs of decline or not. Okay. All right, Dr. B. Let's start with what people are actually observing. What are the signs that people point to when they say that Trump might be in a decline cognitively?
Okay, so there are several repeated patterns, and I know if you've heard the president during one of his press conferences, you will notice that his speech tends to wander. He got on them windmills. He got on several different topics before he just go off on a tangent. Sometimes you're looking at him and saying to yourself, okay, now what is he talking about? Okay, so and he does this mid sentence. He can be in the middle of a sentence and he can stop it and then drift to something different. So that's one of the signs. And then he mixes up his words. He mixes up his names. There have been times when a person that he's looking for is standing directly in front of him and he does not see that person. So that's one of the patterns as well to show that he's declining cognitively. Okay. And then another one is repetitive and simpler phases. He said the same words, y'all know, over and over again. He loved the words terrific. He loved the word great. And he loved the word IQ. Now, we did a podcast a while back where we highlighted all of the words that are sentences that he loves to use, and he uses them over and over again. And the reason he does that is because he can remember them.
Exactly. And so some of the physical cues are the slower movements, the odd pacing. We've seen him walk up and down the stairs or even in a straight line. And don't mention that staggering.
Ooh,
I mean,
Lord
it's
have mercy.
absolutely ridiculous. And then he done slipped and fell a couple of times. And it's funny because he talked about Joe Biden doing the same thing. He is more impulsive and more confused when he's under pressure. We've seen it so many times before, especially recently in regards to the Jimmy Kimmel situation. Now, media has begun to pick up on this. Especially PBS, they ran a story, which is kind of weird because they pulled the funding for PBS. But nonetheless, the story was about Trump's rambling speeches and how it raises questions about his mental decline.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't, I know you guys have noticed it because I've noticed it. So thank you, Sweet, for joining us. Ken Harris for joining us. We got a lot of people that are coming in. So thank you. Hit that like button and share and subscribe. Thank you again. So now the Guardian is saying he has trouble completing thoughts. People question Trump's mental acuity. And also Cornell has noted that he's beginning words and he can't finish them. He'll start saying something and he can't finish it. So he's declining cognitively.
Yeah, I believe he is, Dr. B. Some psychologists even compare what he says now to how he spoke, before, prior decades, saying that there's deterioration in the coherence. So,
Yeah. His speech is not as coherent as it was 10, 15 years ago. So he is changing. And there are strong voices saying that this aligns with early dementia disorder. As a matter of fact, psychologist John Gardner says what we see are the classic signs of dementia. He has trouble completing a thought. That is huge deterioration. I hate to say it. He's how old?
he's about
79 years old.
80.
Yeah, he's old.
79, 80.
Yes, he's
It's
old.
ridiculous. I still wonder sometimes, Doc B, that how a nation right now, the millennials are actually the group of millennials, the largest group population that's on the planet. At one time, it was baby boomers, and the millennials took the new rank as the most populated on the planet. And it's just amazing that so many millennials on the planet, but yet we have a declining baby boomer that's running the country. It just really doesn't make sense. But here's the pushback. Trump team and some physicians insist that his cognitive tests are fine. The official White House doctor says he's mentally sharp. But then again, we can't really trust everything that comes out of the White House.
No, you cannot. Okay, but that doesn't mean or silence those observations. People know what they see. They hear what they hear. So the question is: are these slips okay just normal aging, or is it something more serious? Okay, it's slowly, gradually changing. It's happening, guys, and these are red flags.
Exactly. Now, some reporters have even called him out. Some examples of Trump behavior is um, Trump saying the DOJ is undermining justice, but 2 weeks ago he said the DOJ was his best friend. Which is it? Or
Okay.
him saying some DOJ officials are disloyal. Then the next sentence he'll say, yes, some are loyal, some, how do I say, you don't know who's loyal anymore. It's like sometimes I don't think he understands fully what he's thinking or saying at the same time.
You know what, Broker J3? I think what he does sometimes, he'll say something and then he'll pivot
Well, he'll
and then
forget.
he'll forget. And by the time it's over, you feel like, like one of them little twisted donuts. You feel like you're all twisted all up because of the fact that he goes one way, then he turns around and goes in the other direction. Okay, so this kind of verbal confusion invites speculation. So it has all of us wondering Is he fit to be president? And that's confusion to me times 10.
Exactly. So, guys, we like to give a quick shout out some of the people in the room. Um, Larry said, "Love y'all from Mississippi." Appreciate you, Larry. We love you too. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate all the new people. We always got our day ones that's always there and always gifting us. We appreciate it, but we enjoy it when we get new people that come to the podcast and enjoy the content. We really appreciate it. Now, again, I'm going to elaborate this. Now, we allow all comments as long as you're not talking about the host or any other um, viewers on the podcast. We don't care if you're a MAGA. We don't care if you're a Trump supporter. We don't care if you're a Biden, Obama, whatever. We don't care about any of that. Our platform is not for us to determine what you guys should or should not do. We're just bringing to light some of the topics that a lot of the media is talking about now. Not legacy media, but what you're getting from a lot of the media from online podcasters, the ones that's actually bringing you the raw and the real, because media legacy is just not doing that.
Because, and then just think about it, guys. When Biden was in office, they made such a big deal, the GOP, about Biden's health, felt like Harris was keeping his health from the American people. And now we can barely get any information about President Trump's health. So, the tables are turned, and see, the legacy media, most of them are terrified. They're not saying what needs to be said. They're not giving you the honest truth. Therefore, a lot of people have resulted to actually watching the news on YouTube. And that's okay, because you've got to get the truth from somewhere.
All right. I appreciate you guys, Paul and everybody else. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll appreciate you guys so much, and continue to keep tapping those screens.
Yes,
we see that you guys are tapping. We really appreciate the love. And thank you for sending those gifts. We do have our gift goal, so we'll appreciate if you help us to achieve our gift goal today.
Thank you.
Now we're going to jump right into the narcissism and the malignant traits and the personality patterns. Let's talk about that, Doc B.
Okay.
Let's dig into his personality. Is Trump simply a narcissist, or is there something more malignant?
Okay, and you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna get off task just a little bit. I think about Andy Griffin's, Barney Fife, Ernest T. He's nuts. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, but we're gonna keep it real. NPD, which is narcissistic personality disorder, describes a pattern when someone has magnificent views of themselves. They just think there's the world to everybody. They need constant admiration. They want you to praise them. They lack empathy. They react badly to criticism. The same thing with the talk show host talking about him. He gets mad, and he exploits relationships. So in my opinion, many of these traits match what we observe in Trump. What do you think, Jay?
Well, I think you're right. Yes, he demands loyalty, and we already see that, especially in regards to with the government shutdown looming next week, and he's telling all the Republicans, don't even talk to the Democrats. It's not even worth it. But you're gonna have to. You're gonna definitely have to. So he demands that loyalty, and he punishes any ones that disagree with him. You already have Patel, Hegseth, and what's the young lady? Oh God,
Let it.
The DOJ. I can't remember.
Bondi.
Yeah. Now he already had issues with them, with certain situations, and if he disagrees with you, he already sees that there's an issue going on. So he don't like when you disagree. Now you kiss his ass, he appreciate that all day long. Keep doing it. I mean, hey, the world is yours. And he sees himself as a genius, which is really weird because most of the people that Trump says has low IQ actually work in jobs such as lawyers and stuff like that actually got high degrees, and he doesn't.
He doesn't.
You claim that you're this big businessman, but most of your businesses went bankrupt.
Yeah.
But we're not
But
gonna.
let's think about that. He don't want you to know all that. That's the reason why. Let's think about it. He never released his tax returns, guys. We don't even know what he did, how many times he filed banks. We don't even know all of that. But I do want to give a shout out from I think Larry is in Mississippi, and I heard thought I saw on the news that Mississippi may be flipping. Mississippi was a red state, but I heard they may be flipping blue. So Larry, keep us posted on what's going on in Mississippi, okay?
That's if
Yeah,
we don't find ourselves in martial law
I know, right?
before November of next year, because right now the way it's going, where the National Guard is taking over those blue cities and blue states, it's absolutely ridiculous. Because again, all of this stuff is politicized. It doesn't matter, and I say this all the time. It doesn't matter whether you're a Democratic or a Republican president. You are a president to the people. It does not matter. This thing that he has going on right now, where he's pitting us against each other. It doesn't matter if I'm a Republican or if I'm a Democrat. That shouldn't even matter at all. You should. It's all about the people, and not wanting to send aid to blue states because they didn't vote for you. That's madness.
Okay. And then now, so he believes this is how he's such a genius, guys. I'm just keeping it real with you guys because he won't, and two, he wants the Nobel Peace Prize. We did an episode on that as well because he thinks he should be, or he has as much swag as President Obama. So, he wants to be President Obama, but he feels like he should get the Nobel Peace Prize. And the White House staff, you've heard them, they've been praising him. And we're going to talk about it a little bit later on. If you guys stay tuned, we're going to talk about that daddy term that they've given him. Okay. So he believes that only he can do this. He's ended many wars. I can't remember how many he said
he was at 6, 9, 7.
Okay,
so,
okay.
by the end of the year, it'll probably be 13.
Yeah.
But the one he was supposed to end on day one,
Ukraine.
we ain't gonna get into we ain't gonna get into that.
He still hadn't ended that one yet. And then he made all of these beautiful renovations to the White House. Only he can do that. And I'm saying to myself, really, that's what you focus on? Renovations to the White House when the country is in turmoil, and this is what you're focusing on? But only he can do it. Marble. He's talking about what he's having put in this little building, fancy building where people are have parties.
We ain't gonna talk about the courtyard. He's talking about the grass.
Yeah,
because he knows the best grass. He knows the best grass.
Yeah,
I think he's smoking it. But we ain't gonna go there. And he often reacts with rage when people question or criticize him. Let me tell you something. And I've realized this throughout my life, but I realize it more since we started the podcast. You're going to get people that's going to criticize. You're going to get people that's going to disagree with you. You're going to get people that don't like what you say, even if they're misunderstanding what you say. As a president, you can't get upset with somebody or want to politically take them out just because they don't agree with you or because they said something that you don't like and hurt your little feelings.
Yes, they did.
Come on now.
Yes, they did.
You're a grown man. You should be in your feelings. It doesn't make sense. Because I can just imagine now if Obama, sometimes we say he wasn't all the way black, you know what I'm saying? But if the black in him actually came out during the time he was president with all of the things that was said about him, like seriously, I mean, none of that is going on in regards to Trump. So come on, guys, let's not play that game. Again, often he reacts with rage when people question or criticize him. Yes, he wants to see or have them fired. He likes that because he still thinks he on TV. You're fired. And he never admits when he makes a mistake. That's something he never does. But you know what? That's a classic narcissist.
Yeah, he's never going to admit when he makes mistakes. That's not going to happen. Okay, guys. So these are textbook narcissistic traits. It just, you see it all the time. But some experts talk about malignant narcissism, which adds aggression, which he becomes angry, sometimes shouting. He becomes paranoid, which I already know he's paranoid, and has a destructive component that's in that mix. And that can be dangerous.
Yeah. In fact, so malignant narcissism, it's almost like the NPD on steroids.
Oh God. So in a sense, yes, it combines the NPD with antisocial or paranoid features. with someone in power, guys, with him being the president, you have to ask yourself, is this a good idea? I never would forget when they talking about him being in control of the National Guards, him having so much power. Was that healthy? This was during the first term, y'all. Was it healthy for him to have that much power? And it wasn't then, and it's not now either. Okay, so this is risky with somebody that's in with that much power. So they may see critics as enemies and escalate attacks instead of restraining.
Yeah, you know what? Psychologist John Gartner, his work touches on this. He co-founded Duty to Warn after Trump's first term, suggesting that Trump's personality was actually a harmful trait, in regards to the United States.
Okay, guys, keep those gifts coming. Thank you. Fat, thank you for joining us. Will 1964, thank you for joining us as well, guys. Keep those gifts coming, and thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate your support. So now on a commentator side, okay, they're saying that they have started to label Trump's interactions as dominated by narcissistic rage. And they say he does it all the time. It's behind the scene, but he does exhibit emotional retaliation when challenged. And we have witnessed that with the recent suspension, which he was reinstated for Jimmy Kimmel. So we've seen that. If he has it out against you, he's going to talk negative about you, and he's going to try to get you suspended or fired or just plainly off the air.
Yeah, exactly. So let's take a quick look at the generational lens. Boomers often view Trump as simply bold, brash, and loud. They may see this as his unfiltered personality. Most of them are older, closer to his age.
Yeah.
So they kind of, feel like, you can't teach the old dogs.
Yeah. Old
school. You hear this a lot. That's just Trump being Trump.
Yes, I've heard that too many times.
Gen X, us, we tend to spot the character flaws, the emotional manipulation. We catch all of that. We don't miss a beat when it comes down to that.
That's why most of us, like me, say he's just nuts. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the millennials. They believe that narcissists often oppress critics and marginalize people's voices, and they do. And then Gen Z see conflicts between image and real action is glaring to them. They see that's how they view this type of conflict.
Yeah, because when you see something, but you hear something else, it just doesn't match. And that's what's wrong right now. We have a president that's saying something, but it's not matching up to what's happening. And that's what's going on right now, and it doesn't make sense. Here's a quick example. We touched on it a few minutes earlier when we was talking about the government looming over a shutdown next week because they haven't came to an agreement vote to be able to fix that budget. Now, several years back, and you guys can actually Google this, when Trump mentioned that if the government is going through a shutdown, the president needs to stand up, and he needs to be present, and he needs to bring both sides, Democrats or Republicans, together. He stated that 20, 50, 100 years from now, people are not going to think about who was Speaker of the House, who led the Senate. They're going to be like, who was the president at that time? Yeah. Now, right now, they're already spinning. The government's not even shut down. They're already spinning that, the Democrats want to shut the government down because they want the government to pay health care for illegal aliens. They want men and women sports. Now, they're pushing this agenda out there right now because so if the government shut down, they're going to say, well, it's the Democrats' fault because they didn't want to do this. But at the same time, keep in mind, Trump said there's no need to even speak to the Democrats because it's not going to do any good. He said that the Democrats, they're nasty, they're evil. This is what the president said. Now, Magic Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, they're not even meeting on the 29th and 30th. Looming a shutdown, they're not even going to meet.
Yeah.
At all. They're not even going to meet because Trump said no need to speak to them, so they're not even going to meet. So, and one of the, I wish I could remember his name right off the bat. One of the commentators said that Trump is actually looking for the government to shut down because he really don't need the government. He wants this authoritarian situation going on where he can just rule.
Well, and then this is what I'm thinking too. Since, like you just said, the speaker has ordered the GOP not to even discuss this with Democrats.
Don't even talk.
So they have a plan, a proposal, so that they extend Medicare. They have, but you can't come to agreement if the other party is not willing to hear what you have to say. So I agree with you. I have a feeling that it's going to shut down, and he's going to do that so that he can seem like he's the savior when they actually come to terms and they can agree on something. And then again, I don't even know how long it's going to be shut down.
Yeah.
But like you said, he probably doesn't care because
it's not affecting him at all because, think about it, since being president, he's made so much money being president this last term than most of his life.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense.
Okay.
But anyway, we're gonna keep it. This is something you guys, we try to laugh it off, even though this is a serious situation because, we just talked about it last week. Trump is out here telling people that the economy is the best that's ever been in the whole world, probably better than any other president ever before. Food, all the prices, everything is going down. And this is what he's telling people. But everyday people are saying that's a lie.
If you prices go to the grocery store,
prices are going up. Gas is going up. Utilities is going up. Nothing is going down except for our paychecks.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, guys. And so some of the millennials say when they think of what Trump is doing, they say he's attacking Black women and media figures, not because they matter, but because they challenge him. And they do. There have been a lot of Black women that challenge him, and he does not like being challenged by Black women. Everybody knows that. And so those are narcissistic characteristics. Okay.
Yeah. And of course, the boomers, says he's always being insulting, which is kind of true because he insults everybody. It doesn't matter whether you're Black, white, a veteran, or whatever. He'll insult his own cabinet. So,
and then he doesn't expand. He'll just insult you. He won't even tell you why you've been insulted. That's just it. Point blank. He just don't like you.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the Gen Z, we're going to talk about this later on. The Tylenol scare said that he's using that. This is, the process that some of them might think. Now, if you feel differently, if you fit into any of those generational categories that we've talked about so far, if you don't feel this way, please let us know. The Tylenol scare to stay relevant among health obsessed youth. So I don't know if he's just trying to put himself out front. When he said don't take Tylenol and he was just pregnant women don't take it, I'm saying to myself, why are you saying that? I would have let RFK say it. I would have let Dr. R say it. I don't know why he felt like he had to make that statement.
Yeah, because he just wanted to be on the forefront. And first of all, it's probably one of the most idiotic things that I've ever heard of in my life. You're not a doctor. You're not a genius. For you to say that pregnant women taking Tylenol cause autism, even though there is no study, none that's out there that even suggests that that's what's going on. But I guess, like Jimmy Kimmel said, he wants to put something else out there so they can distract us from the Epstein files.
Yeah, he's still distracted. Yes, he is. So, guys, keep those gifts coming. Y'all are doing really well. Thank you. Keep them coming.
Powers. Who those that's missing powers?
We got Brenda. We got Missing Powers back. Hey, how are you doing? All right. Thank you, guys. We appreciate all those gifts. We're Caden. Hey, guys. How are you? So keep those gifts coming. We appreciate y'all. And then the Gen X is where narcissism meets aging. They say he just getting old. They lose the filter. They're saying that's the reason Trump behaves. They're giving him a pass, Gen X, for the way that he behaves because they say he has no filter, no control because he's getting old. That's dangerous as well, guys.
Yeah,
Everybody's accountable. I don't care
that
who
shouldn't be
you
a
are
pass.
for what you say and what you do.
That shouldn't be a pass. You know,
Absolutely,
we're all
absolutely.
getting older,
Yeah.
regardless,
I bet you Obama couldn't say and do what he wanted
being
to.
disrespectful to people and
Okay.
just using that as getting older. That's BS.
Yeah.
Now it's a difference. It's a difference now. Now, if he truly is going through dementia and going through them stages, then okay, we can understand that. But don't tell us that he's fine and he's
Yeah.
doing these things at the same time, because they just don't add up. So let's go ahead and jump into. Well, before we jump into, let's give a shout out to some of the new people that have joined us right now.
Okay.
Before we move on to the next segment, we want to
Okay,
give a
we
shout
got
out.
Show Love. We've got Professional. We've got Brain Dead. How are you doing this evening? And Miss Berry Backup. How are you doing this evening? Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you. Hey, Tony, how are you this evening?
Shout out to our viewers on
Yes.
YouTube. We see you guys. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you.
Yes, thank you guys for joining us.
All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and jump into transition into the Tylenol and autism thing that what did Trump claim? Of course, we just mentioned it a minute ago, you know, because he's claiming so much stuff that's not real. So jump into it,
We're going
Dr.
to talk about this controversial press conference. Well, he took front and center, and I'm saying to myself, you don't need to do that. It was on September the 22nd. I was flanked by RFK Jr. and Dr. Oz. Everybody knows Dr. Oz, who's Team Trump. Everybody knows that. They made the explosive claim, and they said that Tylenol taken during pregnancy causes autism. And he also criticized vaccines. So guess what, guys? It's Tylenol today. It's going to be vaccines in the next couple of weeks. I kid you not. It's coming. Okay.
Yeah, it's coming, Dr. It definitely is. Trump declared that Tylenol is not good. Now, that's the main thing that they prescribe for pain. Is like literally the main thing. All pregnant women should talk to their doctors about limiting use. At least that's what he declared.
Yeah. And so, this is what's happening with not just, one set of nationalities, but the Amish and the Cubans. They saying that he's asserted that populations like those two who he claimed avoids pills anyway have lower autism rates. Now, I don't know if that's statistically true or not, but who is he to put that out there? Okay. And he's trying that to fuel the Tylenol uses, because that's his way of saying that we need to stop using Tylenol because people who are Amish and Cubans don't have fewer autism rates.
All of this is just
nonsense.
It's so much past nonsense. I've never seen nothing this crazy before in my life, and I think it should get to a point where it really needs to end. You know, that's a hell of a sweeping claim right there, and he's also teased the label changes for new guidelines. Like, come on, are you serious? The White House published a fact statement. There's a mounting evidence finding a connection between amphetamine used during pregnancy and autism. Now, again, like Doc B said a few minutes ago, you're gonna put out a fact statement from the White House about something that's medical, and there's nobody in the White House. There ain't no doctors, ain't no degrees, no doctor degrees from nobody, not even the person that put out that statement. But yet again, even the World Health Organization stated that there's no whatsoever information or studies that link Tylenol causing autism from the use of pregnant women.
Yeah, this is crazy. So the fact document is controversial. Much of it leans on association, not causation. And we're going to get in a little bit more deeper into this relationship between the two. But the press and the medical institution, they have pushed back hard, which they should, because guess what? There's no sense in putting this information out there that could possibly say, Tylenol it takes down a fever. And so you don't want to tell people that they shouldn't take Tylenol when their health could be at risk. That's what I'm afraid of.
Exactly. And the media reacted because
Yeah, they
according
did.
to Reuters, the move elevates claims that's not backed again by scientific evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And AP, Associated Press, Fact Focus state Trump made a false and misleading claim about Tylenol,
Mm-hmm.
autism, vaccine, and multiple claims contradicted by science.
Mm-hmm.
This is again, guys, we have somebody that's in office that is so used to lying and putting so much misinformation out there, and it really touches my heart because there are so many people out there that believe everything that comes out of that man's mouth, whether it's lies or mostly lies anyway, but they believe everything, and my heart goes out to them because they don't understand they are being misleaded by somebody that is giving them false information.
Well, my thing about that is, this is 8 months, almost 9 months into the presidency. And, I'm going to be honest with y'all. When Trump first came in office, I felt kind of sad for the people who voted for him that realized that they shouldn't have voted for him. But you still got some people that have been impacted negatively. I kid you not. Those that know their rent going up, know the grocery bills going up, but they still going to support Trump. They don't care. It's like a cult. They're going to follow him regardless of what he does. I don't care if it's negative or not. They're still going to support him. So we have to get used to that. Okay, now the WHO organization issued a rejection of the claim about the linkage, as far as Tylenol causing autism. So they said there's no credible or consistent association between Tylenol and autism. They wanted to make sure that they were firm on that claim and so that people can be informed. Okay. And also the Guardian, they published a community reaction noting that many pregnant individuals and doctors, they reject those claims as well. So the pushback is there because they don't want people to start not taking it when their health could be at risk. And then we got one more expert from Nature noted that this claim is absolutely not grounded in the scientific findings. Okay, so that's where the pushback comes in, and they should, because they need to get the correct information out to people that are being affected.
Exactly. And also the FDA and the Medical Association said that he's misrepresenting research. He's stirring up fear, and that's what's really going on. I've never seen this before in my life. I'm really surprised that we've gotten to the point where we have allowed the leader of our country to literally lie to us on a consistent basis, and it's okay, and nobody fact checks him. Some tech media flagged how this could threaten the public trust.
Yeah, yeah. He's weaponizing confusion. That's what he's creating, a lot of confusion. And he frames himself as challenging medical elites and fake science. But the majority of the peer-reviewed science does not support his assertion, guys. He just making up stuff and creating confusion. And so what the confusion comes is some people are going to be asking themselves, okay, should I take Tylenol? Should I not take Tylenol?
Yeah, but this is coming from somebody that don't even believe in global warming.
I know, but then you can have some that say, well, hey, I took Tylenol 3 months into my pregnancy. Oh God, I'm 6 months now. I hope nothing's going to happen. That's confusion. A lot of people don't need that added stress.
Yeah, and you're right. That stress is definitely not good, especially if you are carrying a child. It's definitely not good.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just imagine this. You're a young pregnant woman. Gen Z states, I was prescribed Tylenol during my third trimester, just like you was just talking about. Now I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
Did I harm my baby? Like, serious? According to a millennial doctor, the misinformation is dangerous. Fever in pregnancy is already harmful, and Tylenol is one of the few safe options that they have.
Yeah.
There is very few safe options that people can take to lower a fever. and Tylenol is literally like the number one option.
Yeah, and those mothers out there, those of you who are mothers, and if you've had small children who had fevers, particularly in the middle of the night, and you need to get that fever down, the first thing you're going to reach for is Tylenol.
Children's
Yeah,
Tylenol.
yeah, children's Tylenol. Okay, so according to the baby boomers, those baby boomers out there, you may feel that Trump is still in the pill paranoia from the 1970s. Remember, you took a pill for everything, and this sounds like a scare tactic.
Yeah.
Maybe doing that. I don't know.
I think it really is because, you already got people like JFK, Secretary of Health or whatever the hell he is. He seems like he got health issues himself, worms in the brain or whatever, and sometimes it shows with some of the foolishness that they talk about. It's just, every time I think, I'm sorry, but every time I think about this man's administration, from him, Mr. Convicted Felon, and your whole administration, your cabinet, everybody is incompetent. They do not belong in those positions. You got a podcaster leading the FBI. I mean, oh my God, this is the most craziest thing I have ever seen in my life. I just don't understand
and this is the kicker to y'all. And I'm going to share this with you. I don't mean to get off topic, but y'all know I can get off topic. The journalists, the streaming networks, they are super, even the journalists are super busy because every single day, guys, it's some drama with this president. Don't you agree? Even on the weekends.
I totally agree. I totally agree. Let's just keep it moving because we can get off topic all day.
Yes, we can.
When we start thinking about how crazy this man is. Appreciate it, Miss Empower. Cuz is just going off. We appreciate it. Thank you with the gifts. We love those gifts, guys.
Keep them coming.
Keep them coming. Let us know that you guys are engaging with us, and we appreciate it. And when you can't send a gift, it's okay. Make sure you put a comment down there. Mm-hmm. And even if we don't always catch it, we check it out later. So don't ever feel like, we're overlooking you or anything like that, because we're not. We always go back and we always look at all of our comments. So we appreciate you guys. Now let's jump into the science and the legal landscape of this. Let's dig into the science, okay? Are there studies linking prenatal amphetamine to autism?
Okay, so yes, there are research studies that say the two are related, but they do not prove causation. Some mothers who took Tylenol may have had fevers, infections, other exposures, which also are considered variables. That's the science.
Okay, so Nature magazine wrote, no strong evidence backs up Trump's claim. The evidence does not support a casual link.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so shout out to everyone watching live, listening on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, all of our platforms, guys. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and tell a friend. Thank you, CJ and Star and Keita. How are you guys doing? Thank you for joining us. Miss Robinson on B, Untouchable. Thank you. Thank you.
We got a whole all-star cast this evening.
Yes,
you guys always show up. Even some of you latecomers, we appreciate you just coming by.
Add a comment. Add something a note in the comment. If you're Gen Z, Gen X, millennials, or baby boomers, let us know.
Yeah, and let us know how you feel about this comment. Do you guys believe that what Trump said is true about the Tylenol, even though no such claims out there link the two together? What you guys think? We definitely like to know. And to be honest
with you guys, I've heard somebody say this, and they could have said it jokingly, but this was a man who said, I'm scared to take Tylenol. He's not. Everybody is panicking about this Tylenol drama.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I had a headache yesterday, and I took 2 extra strength 500 milligram Tylenol.
Okay.
And, I don't think I got autism. But we ain't gonna get into that.
Okay.
Anyway, on the legal side, there are over 500 lawsuits that have been filed claiming that Tylenol caused autism. Most have been dismissed. Judges often rule that expert methods are unreliable.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Miss Empower. She said, "Well, I listened to a man that said drink a little bleach during COVID. Remember, he said that was to treat COVID."
Yeah, we have Darnell on YouTube. He just made a comment. What did Darnell say, Doc B? on YouTube.
Okay. Darnell just said he's JFK's nephew. Yes, he is. And that's the only reason that he's part of Trump's cabinet. Of course, and plus now he's one of the cronies. Of course, he has to support Trump and praise Trump. You know how y'all know how he do. You know how he roll. He wants someone that's going to follow him and is going to do exactly what he wants them to do. That's just how he is. But yes, he is.
Yeah, and that's just how that is, you know.
Okay,
Okay,
some of the plaintiffs, guys, are asking the courts to consider Trump's public statements, claiming that what he's doing is sowing prejudice and bias in cases, because there are a lot of cases that have where they've sued Tylenol. And so what he's saying, Trump is saying, could have some weight or so prejudice in those particular cases. But so far, no direct lawsuits against Trump himself is confirmed. Now, whether this is going to happen a little bit later on, I don't know. It's a possibility.
Now, Kenvue, a lot of you guys may not know it, they are the parent company of Tylenol. They strongly denied the claims, period. Their stock dropped after the news. Now check this out now. This company's stock dropped just because Trump put out false claims. He put out false claims and their stock dropped. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. And see, for me, that was the first thing that came to my mind when I heard Trump saying don't use Tylenol, and it was all over the news. And so their stock dropped. So should they be able to sue the president for putting out this negativity if it has not been substantiated? Can he say that negative about a company? But they're saying he probably can do that since he's in public office and get away with it.
He's getting away with too much. It's just absolutely
okay. But
ridiculous.
The courts have actually thrown out a lot of cases because the causation is not there. So even in Trump's own false statements, a defamation or libel is hard to pursue because political speech is heavily protected unless there's clear malice or false statements proven. So in other words, I don't think there's going to be any repercussions for him making that statement about Tylenol.
Of course not. And some may internalize those lawsuits as proof that there is something here, you know, just because. While some tend to be skeptical, remember, bad health scares in past decades, you know, a lot of people back in the day, you know, they especially let's go back to the most recent with COVID.
Yeah,
you know that
we talk about the bleach.
you know, we you know,
and I'm not surprised, guys. I'm serious. If he said take bleach, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody actually drank bleach.
Or probably put a little bit in their water, thinking that it's gonna kill the COVID. and the millennials may want science and transparency. Because they distrust conspiracies. Most millennials distrust conspiracies anyway. It's hard to get millennials to just believe anything. And on the other hand, we know Gen Z, they believe in fact checking. I mean, the younger generation,
Thank you, younger generation.
I tell you, you know, I think that my younger teenager, got two young teenagers in high school, and I'm telling you, they don't believe nothing that you tell them. They don't care what they see on TV. They don't care if you told them that you was the state champion in high school. They going to check. They pulling up the information. They was like, good. I don't see your name. You know, you sure you was on the team. You know that, and that's a good thing because more people need to do that. Not just the Gen Z, more of the baby boomers, more of the Gen X. You know, we all need to really fact check everything before we just believe something that somebody says.
Okay, Daniel, thank you for your comment. And he is right. He said what he's doing is called stock manipulation, which is illegal, but you can't convict because the Supreme Court gave him immunity. Isn't that something, guys?
His Supreme Court.
All Tylenol can do is file a civil defamation suit. Isn't that something? And so, you know, the Supreme Court giving him full immunity has given him the power to, for him, his narcissistic mind, to do whatever I let Jay say it, he wants.
The hell he wants.
I'm just keeping it real with you guys because he don't care anything about this particular case, Kimmel's returning to the talk show being reversed.
Oh, that set him off.
He don't care anything about that, because guess what? That set him off. He's going to continue to do it. He don't care if it's reversed. He just believes that he has that control of intimidating people. And as long as he can intimidate you and try to control you, he don't care if you win.
Yeah, though not now. We talking about his narcissism. He's talking about his dementia, and his authoritarian.
Yes.
Because that's what he's trying. Trump wants to be a dictator so bad. He wants to be in a position where he can just be in power. He don't have to worry about no election. He don't have to worry about nobody taking him out of office.
Yeah.
He can stay there as long as he want. And then when he get too old and have to pass it on, he want to give it to his kids and let his kids just run. So they don't have to worry about nothing. And this is America. And I hope that we don't fall for that mess at all.
But it's rough now, especially when the Supreme Court and the AG is giving him the power. The FBI. All of those are supposed to be neutral.
I just seen a boat.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for all of your gifts. You guys are on it tonight.
Yeah,
he need to go sit down. I agree with you 120%.
That's right. We'll
but he's not. He's going to keep at it, because it's like they've given him, like Daniel Pierce said, Daniel Price said, they're giving him full immunity. He thinks he can do whatever the hell he wants to do.
Well, I know one thing. I know he better not get on that boat we just got on Beagle. Stay the hell off that boat. Now, let's talk about about the plaintiffs again.
Okay, so I wonder, guys, this is a question for you guys. If the plaintiffs could amend the lawsuits to include influencer damage, because what Trump is saying is like he's an influencer, that Trump misstatement directly harmed trust in Tylenol. You think that they can revamp or amend those lawsuits to include influencers damage? What do you think, Broker J3?
I think it's possible, because courts will push back on causation and on the notion that political remarks should carry civil liability.
Mm-hmm.
Politicians shouldn't be able to just say what they. Now, we understand when you're on the campaign trail, you're gonna tell us some lies.
They tell plenty of lies.
But when you get in office, you have a duty to tell the truth. You shouldn't be the leader of our country and you telling lies.
Mm-hmm.
You tell lies to us. You tell lies to other countries. Which, I think the UN don't even want Trump there no more. I think they banned. I don't even think they want Trump there no more.
He just lied just to lie. He'll tell a lie. I think he loses track of the lies that he's told. He's just real comfortable with that. Okay, guys. So shout out. You guys have been off the chain.
Yes.
Shout out to everyone watching, listening on Spotify.
Tapping on the screen.
Yes,
sending those gifts and those boats. I liked it, that boat.
Yes.
We never got a boat before.
But listen, Trump talks about a shark, whether he would rather be killed by a shark or whatever.
Yeah, his mind is all jumbled up. That man know he can talk about some crazy stuff.
So thank you for listening on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and all of the social media platforms. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and tell a friend, guys. Thank you for all of your support you guys have offered. Thank you for the book. All right.
Book.
Okay.
The magic book at that.
You.
Who sent that? Harry Potter? No, that was Missing Power. Missing Power. You made us feel like Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Shoot.
Thank you.
All right, let's get into this generational debate. We gonna pull out the magical book and talk about the generational debate and reactions. Let's turn to generational reactions.
Okay. We're gonna start with the boomers. They believe they grew up trusting doctors and pills, and these are our parents. They trusted fully in the doctors and the pills.
Yes, they did.
Aspirin could solve just about any illness you had a long time ago.
And castor oil.
And 666. I don't need to keep going, do I, guys?
That castor oil cure anything.
But this scares me. I don't want to think a simple pain reliever could cause brain damage. I don't want to think that.
Exactly. And Gen X, that's us. We may feel that it's a typical overreach, and that Trump is using shock claims to dominate media. But don't get baited. Don't get baited, guys, because this is what he's doing. He's doing this intentionally believe me, he's doing this intentionally.
And then there's a mom.
Much love to you.
Thank you,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And a millennial saw a mom on TikTok crying because right now people are becoming emotional about this Tylenol scare. They feel guilt. They feel confusion because this misinformation can harm people. And that's what's happening.
We appreciate you. Daniel Price going off tonight.
Thank you,
Daniel Price is on YouTube.
Yes,
he is going off tonight. We appreciate you guys. It's on all of our platforms. What did Daniel say?
Him making unfounded claims that damage company's reputation and ability to make money is a violation of antitrust laws. Thank you. And is a valid cause for a libel suit. Just can't go after him personally. So we'll see what happens. As I mentioned earlier, I don't see why people shouldn't be able to go after him. Now they said if somebody were to actually die because they didn't take Tylenol, then that could possibly be a cause for a lawsuit. But stay tuned on this because I'm sure this is not going to be the last that we're going to hear about Tylenol and autism.
Exactly. Okay, Ebia, and I'm blessed. Y'all are going off tonight. Y'all showing out. We appreciate all the love. You guys already know what time it is.
Yes.
First of all, media is they playing it fast. You know, some headlines, Trump claims Tylenol causes autism. Medical experts, they're outraged. Some conservative outlets framed it as Trump's fight, big pharma and corrupt medicine elite. That's garbage.
Yeah. So the message to each generation is tailored, guys. So to the boomers, warning about the institutions. Don't believe everything you hear and read or what people say. Gen X promises truth over lies. Get the truth because it triumphs over those lies that we're being told. And so to the millennials and to the Gen Z, position yourself as a countercultural health warrior. In other words, continue to do the research.
Yeah, appreciate you, Miss Empower, letting everybody know to follow J&B. We appreciate. See, Miss Empower is one of our day one. She's been with us. She's been with us since day one. She already knows that we bring the real and the raw.
And thank you to our number one gifters. We have a lot of number one gifters that fit in that category.
It keeps changing on different platforms. On all the different platforms, our number one gifters. Thank you so much.
We appreciate it. Price.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Daniel. I hope you subscribe, Daniel. We see us on YouTube. I hope you subscribe now.
Okay.
All right. So what will this do to America? Okay. That's what we need to know. All this misinformation that he's putting out. What will this do to America? Let's do some predictions here, okay, Doc B? What are the ripple effects of this crazy claim that Trump has?
Okay, so the first thing that worries me is pregnant women may skip this medicine, Tylenol. They may be running a fever and they are terrified to take Tylenol because they're afraid that it causes autism. So they're believing what he says. And then when their doctors may tell them that what has been said is not founded, there's no, nothing to substantiate it, they won't believe him because guess what? If they're MAGA supporters, what did MAGA supporters do? They believe everything that the president says.
Yep.
Okay? So, and then health science is becoming a political theater. No evidence base whatsoever. It's just political. Whatever he says goes.
Exactly. And the FDA, and the medical boards and others may push harder on corrections because somebody has to speak up and say, "Hey, Mr. President, you're lying. You're not telling the truth." It's getting to the point where it's almost ridiculous. Future plaintiffs may try to incorporate his statements. Tylenol companies may fight the labeling changes as well.
Yeah, and that's probably what's going to happen. And I wish the journalists and people who are reporting would fight back when he makes these claims. Challenge him. They're afraid to challenge him. So guys, this could be a turn how we treat political figures' health. If voters, media, question his capacity, they need to question whether he's in his right mind, whether he's a narcissistic person. What is his health being challenged? Is his cognitive decline? We need to challenge that. We need to challenge his legitimacy.
Exactly. And also for Americans, it may cause fear,
Mm-hmm.
confusion, mistrust.
Yes.
For marginalized communities, misinformation, oh gosh, it causes so much harm, you know. And for the youth, it reinforces cynicism towards science. You know, it's almost like they're not going to believe what the science says because that's what the president says.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go ahead and wrap this
We'll
up,
wrap it up.
Doc B. Let's give a final thought
Okay. Mm-hmm.
to this topic today.
And this
Because
awesome audience of
yes,
and our
you guys,
listeners and viewers,
you
thank
guys have
you.
truly resonated
Yes,
today
thank
with your
you.
comments,
And
your
your
gifts.
gifts, yes,
We
off the chart.
appreciate it. This is what we like to see when
Mm-hmm.
we started J&B
And
Live.
we engage.
We wanted the
We
engagement
yes.
of our listeners and our followers. Yes. What's your final
Okay,
thoughts,
so
Doc B?
guys, Trump's speech and behavior suggests more than just rhetoric. It's more than just talk. You know, what I see is just a pattern of cognitive decline. We gave you exactly what's happening with the president and pathological narcissism. He's a narcissist. This doesn't necessarily prove a specific medical diagnosis because I'm not a doctor. I just know what I read, what I see, what I hear. But it cannot be ignored. The Tylenol autism claims are scientifically unsound, no proof,
Yes.
dangerous, irresponsibly wielded for spectacle. When a former president uses health misinformation as a tool, the consequences ripple across trust, policy, and public safety. It's just rippling down to the American people.
Rippling.
MAGA or not.
MAGA.
We must protect institutions.
We must protect.
Push for accountability and demand transparency from those that are in power.
Power.
Yeah.
Like the series.
Yeah.
Y'all like my ad libs for Doc B? All right now.
Speak up. Yes.
All right, guys. It's like this. Trump tactics is to dominate. Okay, let's be real. Whether via legal attacks, the media war, or the health fear bombs. This Tylenol scandal is a new front in his war on critics and institutions. I fear everyday Americans will be caught up in the crossfire, in the confusion and fear. You know, we can fight back with education, fact checking, public pressure, and protecting the scientific integrity. Okay, this isn't just a political theater. It's about the health, the dignity, and the future of our country. Come on now.
Yes, it is, guys. And this is our country. This is our country. This is not one person's country. It belongs to all of us. Therefore, we must protect our country. Okay, guys? So thank you to everyone watching, those who are out there listening on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Bigo, TikTok, wherever you get your social media. Thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget to hit that like button, leave us a comment, and tell a friend.
And exactly, and for some of you guys, we know that we go live on multiple platforms. So for some of you guys that may be on this platform or Bigo Live or Facebook or whichever program or platform that you guys are on, remember you can follow us on all platforms. Most social media platforms is at Live with J&B. Again, that's at Live with J&B. And for our audio listeners that love to enjoy their podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Deezer, or wherever you get your podcast listening enjoyment, just search J&B Live Podcast and you'll see me and Doc B. And make sure you guys follow, subscribe, and like. We appreciate the love that you guys gave us today. What we're going to do is we're going to come back tomorrow with another episode. Now, normally we don't broadcast on Friday, but we're going to come back tomorrow with another exciting episode. And we want you guys to join us, and we look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow.
Okay, so shout out to our highest gifters or the people who gave us the most comments.
That's Miss Empower.
Miss Power. These hearts are coming off the screen.
Miss Empower. Miss Empower went off.
And special thanks to Daniel Price, who is joining us from YouTube as well. He has been off the chart. All of you guys, really, because the gifts came, and guys, you guys were giving it tonight.
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Thank you.
Were
everybody who looked out for us today. We appreciate it. We thank you guys so much. Don't ever think that if just because you did not give as
The
much as
high,
someone
yes.
else,
Mhm.
that you're not thought about. We care
Yes,
about
we
you,
do.
and we want you guys to come back as well. Thank you so much. Your presence is more important to us.
Okay, so guys, I am your girl, your favorite auntie, Dr. B. It's always good to see you guys. So thank you for being with us this evening. And we see you through all of this craziness, all of this noise. So stay curious, stay skeptical, and above all, keep your mind sharp.
And you guys already know I'm that guy. You know, I'm your boy, and sometimes your favorite uncle. That you listen to. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for riding with the J&B Live podcast. We thank you so much. And we always like to tell you guys,